Today, we are stopping by a Bavarian village to pick up some wine, heading to a quaint town in the foothills of the Cascades to get our taste of a treat that's about to disappear, and then heading into the Sawtooth Mountains for a night in the wilderness. For the last 5 months, I've had the privilege of serving my country, but...
Hey everybody, good morning. This just happened. I finally checked out of Naval Air Station Whidbey Island for the last time. I am on my way home.
My time here in the Pacific Northwest was both rewarding and challenging. So this is how you know you've had a rough time, when you end up with this much prescription medication at the end of your 5-month trip. However, it is time to go home. I am planning on heading across some of the most remote territory in the lower 48. That means careful planning is a necessity. So what I'm doing here is I'm going over Google Maps and iOverlander. I'm locating different remote campsites and then I'm marking them on Google Maps. That way in my Jeep, when I'm decide, hey, it's getting close to time for me to pull over at night, I can see what campsites I've marked ahead of me on the trip and I can start navigating towards them. So after an early morning checkout with my squadron, I'm on the road heading east. Truth be told, I am ready to leave the wet woodland of the coast and start another adventure on the road. Between me and our first stop are the amazing snow-covered Cascade Mountains. Once over the 4,000-foot Stevens Pass, we begin our descent into the drier side of the state and our first stop in the Bavarian-themed village of Leavenworth. So guys, we're back here in Leavenworth just so I can pick up a couple of thank you gifts. My clients have been very kind when it came to this extended leave of absence I took so I can go on this military mission. So I'm just going to grab a few thank you gifts, and I would love to stay here for lunch, but we got to keep pressing on in order to get to Idaho tonight. Alright, so they don't open for another 20 minutes, which means pastry. Alright, got the gifts. Next stop, we're going to go to a candy store and try, I think they're called applets and cotlets. If you want to see more of Leavenworth, check out my July 18th video where I spent an entire weekend in this beautiful place. Now that we have a few gifts, it is time to continue heading out to the flatlands, but first, we need to stop and get some candy.
Just a couple miles down the road from Leavenworth is Cashmere, and this is the home to this candy factory that I saw that had like a 100-year-old recipe that I'm going to try and see if they got anything left. I hear that their orders got quite robust once they had the story aired on TV over in Seattle. So let's go see what they've got. All right, found what I'm looking for. Well, unfortunately, this place is going to close still, despite the fact sales look pretty robust. But now, how am I going to get all these in my Jeep? I think it's safe to say I have no more room for any more thank you gifts. I tried to sample in there. It's good. Remember what I always say about buying local? It's places like this can stay in business. Unfortunately, at the end of May, this place is going to be shut down, which is a shame because let me tell you, that's some good candy. I mean, it's not the over sweet stuff that we have today. It's just really good candy.
Back on the road, we head out of the mountains and into a beautiful day for driving through the farmland of Washington.
I think it's safe to say I found Washington's wine country. My God, I can't even tell you how many dozens of miles of vineyards I've been driving through. No wonder the wine's so good around here. So over to my right, I got the last bit of snow I'm probably going to see for a while here from the Cascade Mountains. I am pulling off into the farmland now here in Washington. So just a bunch of country, rolling hills, and now that I'm also in the drier part of the state, endless horizons. Very beautiful out here.
As the day drags on and I continue east, I'm faced with a small logistics issue.
So I'm working on a little bit of a logistics issue right now. I do not have any fuel for my tent heater, and this will be the farthest north that I'm going to be using the tent tonight, and I'm going to be doing it in the mountains of Idaho, so I kind of need it. So I had the GPS tuned into a Walmart in Spokane. Nothing. I even tried Cabela's over on the west coast this morning. They got nothing, and Walmart says they haven't had any days. So the guy who runs the camping area told me to go to a store I've never heard of called URM. So I've got the GPS tuned into that. He says they're a little more expensive, but no one thinks of going there. They usually have them in stock. So if not, we're gonna have to hotel it tonight because it's going to be too cold to be in a tent without any form of heat. I mean, it's 64 and sunny out here right now, but tonight in higher altitude, it's going to get cold.
Fortunately, I was able to get enough camping fuel to keep me warm while camping in the mountains these next few nights.
Woo, it is a good thing I got that camping fuel because the mountains I'm heading to have snow on top of them. I just hope I can get up to my campsite. Unfortunately, this evening is not going as planned. I had hoped to camp out in the wilderness of the Idaho Panhandle National Forest. The road here was a bit of an adventure with large boulders in the road and...
Well, take a look at what we're coming up to. It is a tunnel of some kind. Totally unexpected. Alrighty. We are definitely out here in the wilderness. Alright, we got just under 3 miles to the campsite. Hope the road is open all the way up.
My Jeep is able to handle dry snow really well, but this wet stuff was going to be a problem. I'm out here all by myself, and I don't want to get stuck. And as I discovered, on the other side of this bridge was about 200 feet of wet snow between me and the campground. I opted to err on the side of caution and change my camping plans for this evening. This is where a good backup cam comes in handy.
Well, a bit of a disappointment here. I saw on my map there was a campground about 20 minutes further to the east. I thought, yeah, let's just go that way, get us closer to the road heading south out of Missoula. Road's closed. Just talked to some people here in town, and they said I have to go all the way back to St. Mary's, with about 45 minutes away. Or there's a Huckleberry campground. So I want to go to Huckleberry, check my map out a little bit, and see what my options are for tomorrow, because obviously I have a little bit longer drive to do now tomorrow, and I want to see how I can get on the main road without having to do a serious backtrack. Well, dinner is almost boiled, so I just met the campground host and found out that they just bought a house down in Yuma. So for the winter times, he says he's done shoveling snow. Anything, he's also from Vietnam Air Army. Pretty cool. Beef stroganoff. That's gonna keep me warm tonight. Well, I think I've solved the heating problem here in the tent. There's no cold drafts coming down on my face. The heat is right about here now. So it's definitely going to keep me warm tonight, which is what I wanted. Sorry I couldn't do any photography tonight. Obviously things did not turn out the way how I wanted them to. But we'll see what tomorrow brings. I still have to backtrack a little, so I may have to take a different route than what I intended, which will just open up more adventure for all of us. So I'll see. I'm going to let this stream listen. Yeah, that's my lullaby tonight. I'm going to let it sing me to sleep. I'll see y'all in the morning.
I still have 4 days left in this adventure. In the next episode, we are heading to the Swiss Alps of Idaho. Remember to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you do not miss any part of this adventure.